Welcome to this public meeting of the Princeton Board of Education. The board is an elected, unpaid group of 10 citizens who set policy and make decisions on educational, financial, and personnel matters for the Princeton Public Schools on behalf of all residents. We are always pleased when members of the community attend our meetings. The board and the school district operate under applicable New Jersey laws and under regulations of the New Jersey State Board of Education. Each meeting includes an opportunity for those attending to comment on items on the published agenda or other matters of interest to them. The board reserves the right to limit the time allotted for public participation. Law limits discussion of individual personnel and confidential matters. We hope that our meetings provide useful opportunities for communication between the board and the community. Thank you for attending.
As required under the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 1046, at sequentia, adequate notice was given for calling this meeting. It was authorized by the Board of Education and forwarded it to the Municipal Clerk, Princeton Packet, and the Trenton Times on August 23rd, 2023. It was also distributed to the schools and others on the standard distribution list. The board reserves the right to enter into executive session during all meetings of the Board of Education. Board Policy 168, recording devices, requires that we inform those attending this virtual meeting that the proceedings are being recorded. This meeting is not being live streamed. Public members who wish to make comment at the appropriate time, as noted in the agenda or added by the presiding officer, shall raise their hand virtually at the bottom of the Zoom screen. Once called upon, the member of the public will be requested to unmute themselves by clicking the mute button. The representative of the sending district is authorized to vote on such matters that affect sending district students or affect the governance of the Princeton Public Schools as more specifically designated in NJSA 18A38.1. In the event this statute is amended, the law shall take precedent over this bylaw. Sending district votes pertaining to personnel actions refer to high school, central administrative, and district-wide staff only. Votes otherwise are considered abstentions.
Thank you, Mr. Bolden. Would you please call the roll?
Yes. Daphne Kendall?
Here.
Betsy Baglio?
Here.
Beth Barron?
Here.
Debbie Bronfeld?
Here.
Dean Durbin?
Present.
Mara Franceschi?
Here.
Susan Cantor?
Here.
Brian McDonald?
Present.
Robert Christopher?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Bolden. All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this special meeting tonight. On the agenda for tonight, we have some personnel matters, the first of which is the superintendent's recommendation to appoint Cecilia Birge as the principal at Princeton High School. So, Dr. Kelley, is there anything that you would like to say?
I would. First of all, I'd like to thank the board for holding this special meeting prior to the beginning of the school year. I'm going to actually read, Cecilia, my statement directly to you, even though I'm making this making this recommendation for approval to the board. Okay, let me see if I can find you in a little box. There you are. Cecilia, you are my choice as our new principal of Princeton High School. Your dedication to education and your passion for student success were evident during your interviewing process. But in addition to what I observed during your interview with the selection panel, Cecilia, you have been known to me for having an unwavering dedication to the well-being and academic success of our students. Overall, I believe that you possess the qualities to excel in the role as our high school principal. Your communication abilities, your educational expertise, and your commitment to the overall achievement make you, I believe, the ideal candidate for this very essential and important role. I wholeheartedly recommend you to the Board of Education for the position, and I am confident that you will bring positive change and growth to our flagship school, Princeton High School, and I know that you will excel. Rebecca, would you mind describing the process that we use to do the search and conduct the selection for our recommendation this evening?
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Kelley. Thank you, Daphne. The job opening was posted on July 10th. We posted it for 3 weeks, and we had 25 candidates apply. 2 people were internal, 23 were external. We had 3 rounds of interviews. The first round was a paper screen. We looked at all 25 people that applied, made sure that everybody had the right certs, and we moved through those interviews, trying to match people's skills with what we needed. Special thank you to Dr. Kim Tu and Mickey Crisafulli, who worked with me diligently to go through all of those. And we came up with 8 people who we felt matched our requirements. The 8 people were invited for a short virtual screening by Kim, Mickey, and myself. We spent 10 minutes with each person, asked them 4 very important questions, and at that point narrowed down the field to 5 candidates. Those 5 people went forward to the interview committee on Monday, the 28th. It should be noted that the 2 internal people were not paper screened, were not invited for the interview. They went right into the round with the committee. We then put aside an hour for each candidate. The questions consisted of 2 categories in general, and then I'll break it down. One was a performance task. They were asked to talk about their first 100 days at Princeton High School. What is their vision, what they would do? That's all they were told. They can come in and do whatever they wanted for 15 minutes to get this very important question answered. Then we had 10 questions, and our committee, I should note, was made up of 2 principals, 3 supervisors, the assistant superintendent of C&I, the director of student services, 2 teachers, the senior bookkeeper in the high school, and 3 parents. That's 13 people were on our committee. There were 3 observers, 2 board members and Dr. Kelley, and I was the hostess. And the next thing we did was ask them 10 questions. We made a decision to have one person do the questions to not distract from the seriousness of what we wanted to hear and not waste time. The questions, where did they come from? Well, they came from our community survey that was done and our national standards for leaders. The questions covered trustworthy attributes that people wanted for the principal. They covered trustworthiness, accountability, collaboration. We wanted our students to be known, connected, engaged, and supported. There was a question on that. We wanted our students to have access to challenging academic programs and to demonstrate achievement of rigorous standards and intellectual integrity. There was a question on that. There was a question on interpreting data. There was a question on experiences with IEP and 504 students. We talked about working collaboratively with other members of our team, including supervisors, counselors, child study team, etc. We did speak about the legal requirements of special ed, and we asked a question about communication. That was a very important question to our team and to the community. That was a very high-rated question about communications with internal and external stakeholders. After we did those questions and the demo, we rated on a grid every question for every single candidate. After we figured out the scores, we had a discussion as a team. What do the scores show, and what does that mean to what we need, what we feel our students need and our community needs, as well as our staff, as well as everybody involved with the high school. At the end of the discussion, the committee made a recommendation to Dr. Kelley. Dr. Kelley then weighed in on all the things that I just mentioned and came with her recommendation, which is where we are tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Dr. Kelley. So we're going to shift to public comment in a minute, but first we invited the 3 union leaders at Princeton High School to join us and just weigh in, comment on this appointment. So we'll start with Crystal Riddick, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm representing PAA, Princeton Administrators Association, and we're so excited that Dr. Kelley has chosen one of our current PAA members. I know I was sitting in on that committee and it was a hard decision to make. So we are truly, truly in support and excited for the appointment of Ms. Birge, and we look forward to her leadership and working alongside her this year as the new principal of Princeton High School.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. Next we have Renee Sporn, who's not knitting.
Crocheting. No, I am not, but I'm
Okay.
relaxed. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Renee Sporn. I'm co-president of PREA, or the Teachers Union. And so I don't mess up, I wrote it all out. At this time, I would like to welcome Cecilia Birge as our new principal at PHS. It is a pleasure to see Cecilia come up through the educational ranks at the high school. As someone who has worked with Cecilia as a teacher and as an assistant principal, I know she has what it takes to get the job done. At this time, Cecilia, I want to wish you good luck, continued success with all the stakeholders at PHS, and a well-deserved congratulations.
Thank you, Renee.
You're welcome.
And then we have Antoinette Hopkins. Thank you for Annie. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone, and thank you. I am the Presser co-president along with Ashante Thompson this year. And Cecilia, I just want to put out a shout out to you. It's been a long time since our Algebra 1 class together. But I'm very excited to join with you again and team with you this year. I know Pressa has had many times when we've come to you and said he'll help us please with this and that, and you're always there for us. So I'm looking forward to continued success with you, and I'm very excited that you should be taking the helm this year. From Pressa, we wish you the best of luck, and thank you again, everyone.
Thank you. And thank you to Crystal, Renee, and Annie for coming and joining us on this one of the last evenings of summer. We appreciate it. But we know how committed you all are to Princeton High School. So thank you very much. And with that, we'll go to public comment before the board votes on the recommendation. Mr. Bolden, do we have anyone?
I'll just wait a second. Usually when I wait, someone raises their hand, but I don't see anyone with their hand raised at this point. Hold on. Oh, my screen wasn't up. No, I do not see anyone with their hand raised.
All right, thank you. So let me go back to the agenda. Can I please get a motion for D1, appointment of the Princeton High School principal? Brian, second. Debbie. Mr. Bolden, would you please call the roll?
Absolutely. Daphne Kendall,
Yes.
Betsy Baglio,
Yes.
Beth Barron,
Yes.
Debbie Bronfeld,
Yes.
Jean Durbin,
Yes.
Mara Franceschi,
Yes.
Susan Cantor,
Yes.
Brian McDonald,
Yes.
Rob Christopher.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Congratulations.
Yay.
I'm thrilled to welcome Cecilia Birge as the principal of Princeton High School. We know this past spring was an especially difficult time for our district, especially PHS. And I just want, before we go on, to thank Dr. Foster, Rashawn, Cecilia, and Nicole for keeping the building running. And to thank the teachers and support staff for keeping the focus on learning. You did what you had to do for the students, and it is always appreciated by the board. With Cecilia's appointment tonight, we are turning a page and we're looking with excitement to the future. Cecilia is well qualified for the position. She has been on staff at PHS for almost 10 years as a special education math teacher and assistant principal. She has a master's degree from Columbia in education and is working towards her doctorate in education at Rutgers. She lives in our community in the Witherspoon-Jackson neighborhood, and she has 4 children that have or are attending PPS. And she's an active volunteer in our community. She is a kind and compassionate person who shows who she is through her actions. Princeton High School is already one of the best public high schools in the state, And I know with her focus and belief that all students can be successful, it will only get better with Cecilia Birge at the helm. Congratulations, Cecilia.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Kelley, board members, Daphna, and as well as all the members on the Principal Search Committee for the vote of confidence in me. I'm really excited about diving into the new school year with renewed energy and focus. I too also want to thank Dr. Foster for her guidance in the past 5-6 months, for her support and friendship. I think that this appointment also recognizes the exceptional contributions of our dedicated teachers and staff, and we've got 3 colleagues here with me. They are truly the frontline champions in our school and have consistently risen to every challenge. With their support, I have no doubt that we'll have a stronger new school year ahead of us. In the forthcoming weeks, I intend to actively engage with our educators, our students, and community stakeholders, valuing their insights and learning from them and learning with them. It's my hope that together we will build upon our existing achievements and create an inclusive environment where every student feels a sense of belonging at PHS. So with that, I thank you again for entrusting me with this important responsibility. Happy new school year.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecilia. And I don't know if any other board members want to chime in. Now's your chance.
I'll just say congratulations, Cecilia. I appreciate the work you've done as my son's assistant principal, and I appreciate very much as a parent your contributions to the school, and I look forward to seeing you in this new role. Congratulations.
I'll just say we're grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
As an observer the other night, just a masterful job in your presentation, did an amazing work in talking to the search committee. And my only regret is that we are not doing this in person. On short notice, Zoom is helpful, but it'd be great to be in a room with you.
I agree. I agree.
Very soon, we'll do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. You're free to stay for the rest of the weekend, yeah, for the rest of the meeting. But we know you probably want to get back to work. So thank you. And thank you again to the union reps for joining us. I mean, we appreciate it. All right. And now with that, we will move on to the rest of our agenda, which is personnel agenda. So item E1, appointments, and just stop me if you would like to. E2, personnel items. E3, transfer reassignments. E4, resignations. E5, substitute student placement. E6, non-athletic EPS. E7, appointment of other district officials. And with that, we'll move on to the consent vote. Item F1, can I please get a motion? Betsy, second. Mara. Mr. Bolden, would you call? And Susan Cantor is still here. You cannot, we are more exciting than the US Open.
Oh, you are. I'll
No
say
comment, no comment.
But I wanted to make sure I was there to welcome to.
Yeah, we really, I mean, this demonstrates your commitment to your volunteer unpaid role. So thank you. But all right, Mr. Bolden, are you ready?
Yes. Daphne Kendall,
Yes.
Betsy Baglio,
Yes.
Beth Barrand,
Yes.
Debbie Bronfeld,
Yes.
Jean Durbin,
Yes.
Mara Franceschi,
Yes.
Susan Cantor,
Yes.
Brian McDonald,
Yes.
Rob Christopher.
Yes.
Consent agenda passes.
Thank you, Mr. Bolden. I'll also mention Beth is on vacation in Canada right now. And I think the Wi-Fi is not as good there as it is at the US Open. So I'm glad it held out. But thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone, Dr. Kelley, Dr. Tu, Rebecca, for ensuring that we have a new principal at the start of the school year. It was a very tight timeline, but I think this was the right move for kids. And I appreciate your leadership. And with that, 6:21, I think it's a record. Could I get a motion to adjourn? Rob, second. Jean, all in favor? All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.